the time has come for you to lip sync for your life. Good luck, and don't it up.
When you are away, you don't hear me say peace. Oh baby, don't simple and plain is the way that you make me feel tonight. It's hard to let it go.
Welcome. Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts. Now, originally I was going to do the prequels and Kingdom Hearts 1, but I decided I don't hate myself just that much. So today we are going to be doing just Kingdom Hearts 1, and then we'll go back and do the prequels, and then we'll do the sequels. Just like Star Wars. Except unlike Star Wars, my sequels are not going to be written by Disney, so we've got a better chance there. But I know what you're all thinking. Yes, I am gonna have a different costume for every Kingdom Hearts episode. No, we're not gonna just stay in the Donald costume. And yes, it is an excuse because I really wanna buy some more costumes, and one of those being a princess costume. I really wanna be an adult Disney princess, like go find, you know, the little Disney princess outfits that you get for your children. Like I need like an XXXXL, I'm not a child, but I really want one. Like they're little like tutu dresses. I'm doing it. But before we get started, I do have a bit of a special announcement. I launched memberships on my channel. So this is just another way that you guys could support me and help me make content for you guys. I have a lot of big plans coming up. Been loving making this content for you. So what comes with the memberships is some custom made emojis. As I get more members, I can add more. Channel badges, which all those badges are gonna be these costumes. So we've got the Freddy one up there. I've got the picture of me in the bonnet from the Ghost video, which if you haven't seen that, is something. And then we're gonna have this one, and as I keep doing new costumes, those will become our channel loyalty badges. And additionally, priority replies to comments. But if you subscribe to the second tier of the membership, you get a couple other extra perks. Now you do get everything from tier 1, but in tier 2, you get 2 special things that I'm so excited about. One of those being, let me show you. I gotta pull the board out, all right? Look at this beautiful empty board that I'm gonna fill with your faces or icons or pets, whatever you use as your profile picture. This beautiful empty board will be filled with you guys. And as I'm making these videos, say your profile picture fits for something I need. Oh, don't hit me, please. It'll go on this side of the board. So say you have a Winnie the Pooh profile picture, maybe I used you as Winnie the Pooh here. Now, of course, they do need to be somewhat appropriate. I mean, I'm pushing it a little bit with this Aladdin picture we'll get to, but they need to be somewhat appropriate. We're keeping it PG-13, okay? As long as it's PG-13, it'll go on the board. Now, the other fun perk that you get is behind the scenes videos. So you'll get early access to seeing the costume of the video and me setting up the theory board, where I go through why I've picked the pictures. So you get to see them a little bit early and kind of get a behind the scenes look at setting this up, where I'll also do some fun Q&As or little games and stuff like that. So if you would like to, I don't remember how you really do the membership things. I think there's probably a button or something you press. I think if you go to my channel, you can like click on something and like it pops up, but the 2 tiers are the ET fighters and the cotton candy cadets. So I think we've got a good mix there. And as I grow, I'm obviously wanting to add even more to these tiers. So I hope you guys join me for the ride, and thank you so much. And if you can't join the members or you don't want to be a member, that is totally okay. Just being here is more than enough support, and I thank you guys incredibly so much for it. But now, let's go through Kingdom Hearts. So like I said, we're gonna be going through Kingdom Hearts 1, and Kingdom Hearts 1 starts with our main anime boy protagonist, Sora. Now, if you haven't seen the Japanese mascot version of Sora, which is what this is a picture of, the show he's in, let me. Enough of that, I can't watch that again. So Sora starts in this void that's got like some stained glass areas with it. Kind of like this just void that he's in that just has stained glass platforms. But while he is in this void, he comes across something I like to call the Big Papa Heartless. And obviously he is just a child. He's not gonna be able to defeat this thing with no weapons, no training, no nothing. So he gets gulped up by it, but it's okay. It's okay. Because it was all just a dream, and he gets awoken by his waifu, Kairi. Now, Kairi and Sora, they've got a little thing going on, but it's not a love line, it's a love triangle. So that introduces us to our certified emo boy, Riku, all right? Riku definitely likes Kairi, but I don't think she likes him back. We'll get into it. But Riku's bossing around his friends and he's like, hey, we need to make our raft. Go get some coconuts so we can make our raft. And I don't know what he's doing during this time, but we have to go find the coconuts to make the raft. Now, side note, when I played through this game, I played through it maybe a year ago at this point. Yes, I am not an OG player. No, I didn't really play video games when I was younger. I don't think Nintendogs and the Barbie website games really count. Okay, I just didn't play anything. The only game I actually played was Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, but even that I barely played because I had to have my brother do it for me because I didn't understand. I just thought Link was hot. Anyway, so I didn't really play games when I was younger, but I played this last year, and when doing research for this video, I watched a playthrough that was about, you know, just start to end, about 11 hours long. Yeah, I pulled up my save file. It took me 50 hours. 50. And 20 of those hours, because I'm also the type of gamer that I will save in an individual save slot every time, 20 of those hours was just on this island. No, I'm not kidding. 20 of those hours were just on this island. And that's partially in fault of the coconuts, because I couldn't figure out how you get the dang coconuts, so I'm sitting there trying to figure this out for literally hours. Literally hours. Literally hours. And I'm 10 minutes into the game. I'm what a normal person is 10 minutes into the game. I'm hours in at this point, but a normal person, 10 minutes. Anyway, while we're getting these coconuts, Sora, he encounters a mystery man. I'm using this as a mystery man. I know, although, but Denari, that's actually Organization 13. Well, I'm using it as a stand-in. He's gonna account for multiple mystery men. So just deal with it. Just deal with it, okay? But this is another part where I lost some time because I didn't know there was a cave. I didn't know there was a cave. So I was wandering, I couldn't figure out where to go. I'm rechecking everything. I'm like Santa Claus. I'm checking it twice. I'm checking it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. I couldn't figure out where to go. Until I find, oh, I have to go into this random corner of the map that really has no indication that I'm supposed to go into this random corner, and then what do you know? There's a cave. What do you know? What do you know? And then I immediately forget it because this is gonna happen again. But anyway, in this cave, this mystery man tells Sora that their world is linked to darkness. It's basically like an ominous, oh, the rapture's coming, whatever you want to call it. That's basically what it is. And he's just like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna go build my raft. So he goes back to his friends and they built their raft, but they're not gonna use it yet. They don't wanna use it yet, not just yet. So they all go to sleepy. Because like, why would you spend a whole day making a raft and then just, you know, use it right then? Of course not, of course. You just go to sleep. Go to sleep. You don't actually have to use the raft. It was just for fun. We're not actually using it. But maybe they shouldn't have gone to sleep because as they are... If you know what that's a reference to, you know. Anyway, as they're asleep, the Heartless start attacking. The baby Heartless, not the big papas, the babies. The babies start attacking. And Sora, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where his friends are. He can't do anything. He can't even hit these things. So he's just running around this island trying to find his friends. And he does find one of them, Riku. Now, Riku's kind of being an edgy little emo boy, and he's drawn to the darkness, this like dark cloud, just like a little edgy emo boy is drawn to the Hot Topic and Spencer's. So he goes into the Hot Topic Spencer's void, and he's just gone. Like, he just literally just ditches his friends. Like, doesn't care what Kairi is, doesn't care about what Sora's doing. He's just like, girl, they got the new My Chemical Romance ColourPop collab. I gotta go. So he ditches his friends, but that's okay because Sora's still here and Sora cares about Kairi. And where's Kairi? In the cave that I couldn't find again. I forgot it existed. I forgot it existed and I started doing the exact same thing again. I'm trying to find her, but it's okay because along the way we found a Keyblade. Starting off early, aren't I? A Keyblade. Now, this Keyblade actually allows him to attack the Heartless, so we're not like totally defenseless now. So he goes into that cave where Kairi is, and they have like this little like weird moment where he's trying to go towards her and she's trying to go towards him. But really, it's like that song, shoot, what's the name of it? I don't know. It's like, she'd probably move right through me on my way to you. Something like that. If you know what song I'm talking about, please tell me the name because I can't remember. I was so last, but I had to be struck by you. You wanna make struck by you? So she's basically a void that he can't actually get to now. So she just walks through him like a ghost. And she is sucked in one way and he's sucked out the other way. And the only question I have during this time is, where are his parents? Where are all of their parents? Like, do we just have no concern? Because like, there should be adults, I think. But I don't care. I don't care about these Final Fantasy looking characters. That's not the real reason we're here, okay? The real reason we're here is my lovelies. We are taken to a different part of the universe and we get to see our other main cast of characters, starting with Knight Goofy, Sir Knight Goofy, wielder of a little tiny shield that somehow blocks everything. And he's just like a tank. And literally with like a little, like a shield the size of a donut. And he's just tanking it all. But more importantly, the uncle to Huey, Louie, and Dewey. The nephew to the great adventurer Scrooge McDuck. The brother to Della Duck. The love interest to Daisy Duck. That's right. That's right. There's the one and only mage, Donald Duck. Now, Donald Duck is actually the most powerful character in this entire franchise. And I know, stop, I know what you're thinking.
But Denari, he literally dies every battle. And I give him all my health potions, but he just keeps going down. He dies every time. I'm just gonna switch him out with whatever the world character is because he just keeps dying and what am I supposed to do with him?
He's just too powerful for you. That's it. That's just it. He's too powerful for you. Now I'm gonna tell you a little something about Donald Duck. They had to nerf him. By they, I mean Gameloft, Steelwool, Square Enix, LucasArts, Ubisoft. I don't know what the actual company's name is. It's probably one of those. They had to nerf him. They had to. Because if they gave Donald Duck his full powers, there would be no need for any other character. Okay, there would be no need for any other character. He literally could body any of them. Because if we look in DuckTales, canonical to Donald Duck's life, we can see that when Donald Duck gets a little, once he starts doing that, there's no chance. There is no chance for anybody. And he literally takes down gods in DuckTales. Gods. You're telling me that Mr. Hades, feel the heat, Mr. Hades, feel the heat, is gonna do anything against him if he had his full powers? No, he's not gonna do anything against him. And that's why they had to nerf him. They had to, because if he was at his full power, there's nothing they could do. And no, before you even start saying it, no, I am not biased. That might be a picture of me crying meeting Donald Duck, but I am not biased, okay? I didn't go to Disney, meet him, start crying, and as soon as I got home, booked another trip to Disney because I already missed him. I didn't do that. I don't have an entire Donald Duck themed room. I don't sleep with a Donald Duck plushie at night. I don't do any of that. I don't do any of that, okay? I don't even have a Donald Duck Kingdom Hearts tattoo. Okay, I don't know what anybody is talking about. I have no clue what anybody is talking about. I do not have a bias. I have eyes. I just have eyes and I can see, you know, aura knows aura when it sees it. You know what I mean? But our mage and knight, they serve somebody. And that somebody is King Mickey. All right, now, hold on. I want you to get up. Take a couple steps back. Okay, go with me. I want you to bow to the king. Thank you, King Mickey, for all that you've done for us in our world. If it wasn't for you, we would also come to darkness, because our oh gracious King Mickey has saved us all. Thank you, King Mickey. Okay, you can sit back down now. Now, our King Mickey, he so graciously sacrificed himself to go see what is causing this darkness. He protects his people, unlike other leaders in our free world. King Mickey, he protects all of his people, as he should. So he scoodles on out and he's like, all right, I'm off. And he's gonna go find what's causing the darkness, and he leaves his most trusted companions, Donald and Goofy, to help him. And he tells them to follow the key. Now, this is something that's gonna aid them in their quest, so they do. They trust King Mickey, just like I do. They trust, if anybody Donald trusts, I trust, first of all. But they trust him. And King Mickey is telling them to go follow the key, so they do. They just get in their little Gummy ship. That's our mode of transportation in this game. And they go to Traverse Town. Now, this is a town where basically people whose worlds get destroyed, they end up going. Like, this is like a central hub for all the worlds. Donald and Goofy go there to start looking for this key that they're supposed to follow. Well, this is where Sora ended up because his world got destroyed. So now that everybody is in this area, you would think it's about time for them to meet up. Well, you're wrong. We gotta jump through a couple hoops first. So this starts a sequence of Sora and Donald and Goofy basically barely missing each other. But along this way, Sora meets Leon. Yes, Leon is in Final Fantasy. No, Sora is not in Final Fantasy. Leon is both in Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, but Kingdom Hearts is in but Final Fantasy is in Kingdom Hearts, but Kingdom Hearts is not in Final Fantasy, even though Final Fantasy can maybe kind of be canonical to Kingdom Hearts, like Leon and Sephiroth and Cloud, but Sora is not in Final Fantasy, and they're not the same game, even though they have some of the same characters and crossovers. But Kingdom Hearts is not Final Fantasy, but Final Fantasy is Kingdom Hearts, but not Kingdom Hearts. Cool, okay, I'm glad we got that sorted. Anyway, we meet Leon and he's like, give me that blade. And we tell him no, heck no, like, why, who are you? Why would we just give you this blade? That makes no sense. So he starts fighting us. And this fight, you actually have to lose. You can't win it. You really can't. I'm telling you, I tried. Maybe you can, and I'm just that bad. You cannot win it. So you get knocked out by Leon, but that's okay because it lets us go back to Donald and Goofy. But that's okay because while we're knocked out, now us, the player, get to see Riku. And where did Riku go? Well, Riku is in this unknown area. Actually, it's pretty sure it's Hollow Bastion, but we'll get to that later. But anyway, he's in this unknown area, but he sees someone lurking. Someone's looking at, we can see her nails, like she's just there, like lurking. It's Maleficent. Okay, she's got purple skin and nails. Like it's Maleficent. We know it's Maleficent. It's not like a question of who it is. And they get a weird relationship. So, I mean, Maleficent is kind of like,
all aboard the toxic gossip train.
Anyway, Sora wakes up and now he is cooped up by Leon and his friends. And they actually start explaining some things to Sora. So we start to get a little bit bigger of a picture of what's going on. He tells us about the Heartless and how these are creatures that consume hearts. Wow, who would have thought? But the other thing to it is that they eventually consume worlds. This is a little I'm jumping ahead, I guess behind a little bit to the prequels. We do know that there's a little bit more to Heartless. Now, Heartless actually are corrupted Keyblade wielders. There was a war of Keyblade wielders, which we will get into in the prequel videos. I'm just giving the context here. And basically those that succumb to darkness, they become Heartless, and then they also have like nobodies, and that's why we're just starting with this one. But he also tells us about his land's king, Ansem. All right, now we don't really know too much about this Ansem guy, just that he was researching and studying the Heartless and darkness itself. But he is now missing, just like King Mickey, so I don't know. Maybe they're, I don't know, like up on some mountain doing ayahuasca, trying to find the meaning to all the darkness. That's a DLC I'd like to see. I would pay money to see Mickey Mouse and Ansem up on some secluded mountain drinking ayahuasca, just talking. Now, because we're knocked out, it leaves our Keyblade vulnerable, and Leon, he actually tries to take it. But the Keyblade, it doesn't want him. It doesn't want his nasty paws on it. So it goes back to Sora. And Leon basically says, oh, well, I guess it's chosen. I guess you're chosen. I'm not chosen. I guess you're chosen. But Sora recuperates, and then he goes on to find who will be his new friends, Donald and Goofy. So they team up and they're like, well, we can look for Mickey and Kairi and Riku together. Might as well. So they get aboard the Gummy ship, and now it is time to start exploring. But a couple other things. First of all, we see a cutscene that shows us that Maleficent is actually working with other villains, and they want this Keyblade that Sora has. We don't know why just yet, but they want it. And secondly, there's this stupid cricket that starts following us. By us, I mean the trio here that's getting on the Gummy ship. There's just a cricket that starts, like, he wasn't invited. Like, he wasn't invited. He just like invites himself. Like, he's just like that one friend you have that just invites themselves to literally everything. But like, you're like, hey, like, this is kind of a, you know, this is kind of just a thing, you know, I just wanted to hang out with my husband, and then this friend is like, but I'm gonna come too. And it's like, I mean, we're going on a date to a steakhouse, and they're like, oh great, I'll bring A1 or whatever it is. And they just don't get the memo that like they weren't invited. But like, that's Jiminy Cricket. That's literally Jiminy Cricket. I don't have a photo of Jiminy Cricket. I don't really remember what crickets look like, so keep that in mind. Jiminy Cricket. Anyway, with the trio and Jiminy, we start heading to different worlds. Now, there is some points where you do go back and forth from worlds, but I'm just gonna be going through every single world as a self-contained story. So we're just gonna talk through everything that happens in that world for each world. I'm not gonna split it up like, okay, go to Wonderland, I'll go back, no, go back. We're just gonna do it in one. We're just gonna do it in one, okay? So we start off by going to Wonderland. Now, in Wonderland, we walk into Alice on trial for stealing the queen's heart. So the queen sentences her to a beheading, but Sora, being the good guy Sora that he is, he steps up and he's like, no, Alice, I'll save you. And so he tells the queen that he will find evidence of his own and bring it to trial and free Alice from the beheading. So we go through Wonderland collecting all this evidence and bring it to the queen. Now, the queen says, oh, but I have evidence of my own. And she basically says, we can put it all in a line, choose one, and that's the only piece of evidence that we're gonna use. Now, I don't think that really follows due process, but I don't know what the constitution of Wonderland really is. Oh, fun fact. I actually, not that you would have ever guessed it, maybe, I played the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland once. I think it may be fitting at this point, I don't know. But now, no matter what piece of evidence you picked, you're screwed. If you choose your evidence, she's basically like, well, you're cheating, math doesn't exist, you're cheating. And if you choose her evidence, obviously it's stacked against you, so you lose either way. And she ends up locking up your friends, locking up Alice, and making you fight all of her card guards. So you fight all of them. why it's only you, I mean, I guess you're the one that's like, I'll save her, but like, it doesn't... Really locking up everyone? But once this fight is over, obviously Sora goes to free Alice, and what do you know? She's missing. She's gone. She's just gone. But that means it's not his problem anymore. So he literally just stops caring, and he's like, okay, well, we're on our way. And they literally forget about Alice. But there's still more to do in Wonderland. There is this one boss fight at the end of it. I'm not gonna go through all like the random boss fights because some of them don't matter, but like this boss fight, it took me 40 minutes. And I'm not meaning like, oh, like I kept dying over and over. If I'm talking about every time I died, it took me several hours. But when I finally did beat it, it was 40 minutes. 40 minutes of me running around hitting this thing. 40 minutes. But like I said, Alice is missing. Sora, that relieves him of any duty he thought he had. So they find the keyhole in this world. Now, what these keyholes are they are ways that we can trap the darkness back into the world, basically, and stop Heartless from coming through. So this one's a weird one because the keyhole is the doorknob from Alice in Wonderland. So like, I'm not sure if we like violated him. I hope not. But anyway, we seal it and we go and we leave. But this now brings us to the Coliseum. We're done with Wonderland now. Coliseum time, baby. Okay, we go into the Coliseum, and now Phil, obviously, you know, just sensing the aura of Donald by him, he just knows there's a god in his presence. And he just senses it and he assumes that we're Hercules. So he feels Donald's presence and he assumes that he's talking to Hercules and he's talking about, oh, you know, we got the cup coming up, we got the preliminaries, blah, 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 blah. And then he realizes, no, he's just talking to a child, a duck, and a dog. Or a cow. What is Goofy? Doesn't he have like a thing with Clarabelle? And isn't Clarabelle like a cow? But like, what is Goofy? Is Goofy also a cow by proxy then? Or is Goofy a dog? But like, if Goofy is a dog, then like Pluto's also a dog. So is Goofy just like a superior dog? I don't know. According to Google, he's an anthropomorphic dog. I don't know what that means. Anyway, Phil is like, oh, no, never mind. I wasn't talking to you guys. I can train you, but you're not participating in the cups, okay? Full stop. So we're like, okay, whatever, you suck, and we leave. But when we leave, we get introduced to Hades. Now, Hades is like, hey, but I could get you into the cup. You want to get into the cup? No, okay, wait. Okay, Hades, I know it's the second game. It's the second game, but I have to tell this story. So literally in the second game, you have a boss fight with Hades, and all he keeps saying over and over again is, feel the heat, feel the heat, feel the heat, feel the heat. Like literally, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding.
Feel the heat, feel the heat, feel the heat.
He literally just keeps going, feel the heat. And like, it is the funniest thing ever. And when my husband was playing it, that was his favorite thing, okay? Now, one night when he was sick and he was having like a fever, asleep. And when he woke up, I was checking on him to make sure he was okay. And he was waking up and he's just like, feel the heat. Like, Anyway, Hades gives us a pass to actually go into the different cups and trials. So now this is where these come into play. There isn't too much story-wise to do with it. You do just have to complete the 3 cups, I think it is, like Hercules, Pegasus, and Hades cup or something like that. And that's how you get access to the keyhole to be able to seal up this world. But there are more cups that you can participate in beyond these ones. And those just give you some upgrades to your abilities or upgrades to your weapons. Now, I just want to talk about 2 of these battles, Cloud and Sephiroth. So Cloud, shoot. You know what? No, I have extra printer ink. Hold on, and I just thought of something amazing. Hold on. Cloud. Now, the Cloud battle is pretty tough. He's got a huge sword. I mean, his sword, like, that thing's got reach, okay? But more importantly is the battle against Sephiroth. I've told myself I'm trying to run a PG-13 channel. okay? And with running a PG-13 channel, I looked it up and I wanted to confirm that, you know, I get like 1 to 2 explicitives, harsh explicitives, you know, per movie. And these are like the length of a movie, so I think it counts. And I'm gonna use it, you know, I'm gonna use it here. I'm gonna use it here. Fuck Sephiroth, okay? Fuck the Sephiroth battle. Like genuinely fuck the Sephiroth battle. Literally fuck the Sephiroth battle, because that is impossible. I don't know how you're fucking supposed to do that thing. That's actually one of the worst battles I've ever done. And like, I'm bad at video games. Okay? Fuck the Sephiroth battle, okay? I'm sorry, Mom. I know you're probably watching this and it's on the TV, and then now you've got me screaming, fuck, going over all the TV screens in the house. I'm sorry. But if you had to do this, you would understand. Anyway, Olympus, it doesn't really matter. You get some upgrades, you fight some battles, and you wish you were dead, because it genuinely is that hard of battle, at least for me. Maybe everybody in the comments is gonna be like, Denari, you just suck at video games. And honestly, you're right, I do. I really do. I mean, I struggle with like Animal Crossing. I just wanted to play with Donald. But now, forget all of that. It doesn't matter. We're going to the deep jungle, baby. Now, the deep jungle, this area is the Tarzan world. So in this Tarzan world, we actually start off by Sora and Donald fighting. So Sora wants to land in this world because he thinks that maybe Kairi and Riku are here. But Donald, you know, being obviously correct and smarter than everybody in the entire universe, is like, nobody's down there. This doesn't look like somewhere King Mickey would be. This doesn't matter. Like, we're not landing here. And Sora, you know, he's like, well, what if they are? I want to land here. And Donald's like, no, you're stupid. So they start fighting, and they actually end up crashing the ship into the world. So obviously it was Sora's fault and they should have just listened to Donald, but it is what it is, and it ended up how it is. So they crash, everybody gets separated, and we meet Tarzan. We try to ask Tarzan, hey, have you seen our friends, Riku and Kairi? And he's like, sorry, I don't speak Italian. So we're trying to find a way to communicate with him now. Sora goes through all the jungle. He does eventually reunite with Donald and Goofy, and they find Jane and try to get him to communicate through Jane through some picture slides. But alongside this, there is Clayton. I think that's his name, Clayton, who is literally just a horrible villain that is hunting these gorillas and doesn't understand what Jane is trying to do by preserving this area and keeping all the animals safe. And he is just the main villain of this area. So basically, we have to now fight Clayton, and once we do defeat Clayton, we get approval from the King Gorilla, and he shows us where the keyhole is. And so now we can seal up that keyhole. But we do find out from a cutscene that is separate from everything we're doing here that the reason Heartless even invaded this world was because of Clayton's lust for power and authority. You think the Heartless are gonna pull up to America? With this cutscene, we also see something very important. Very important. Maleficent has Alice. She took Alice. She just kidnapped Alice. But like I said, Sora, he doesn't care anymore. It's not his business. So he's not thinking about Alice. So I guess we can forget about it. It doesn't matter. Through all of this adventuring in the deep jungle, though, Donald and Sora do make up and realize that the power of friendship is so strong, stronger than anything. And Donald was right. That's all. Donald was right. So they pack back up, go back to Traverse Town so they can heal up the ship, repair it, and get on their merry way. But while they're there, we get to meet a couple new faces and see an entire new world, actually. So the new faces we get to meet are Merlin and Fairy Godmother. Now, Fairy Godmother, you can bring her these stones, and they basically have souls, I guess, trapped inside of them, and this is how you get summons in the game. Some of them being like Genie, Simba, Bambi, I think is one. But she basically unlocks them from the stone so you can call upon them. But Merlin, he actually helps us practice magic. Additionally to that, though, he introduces us to the 100-Acre Wood book. Now, this book is how we access the Winnie the Pooh land, which is namely 100-Acre Wood. And this world is a little bit different because it's not just a full world you can go into at once. You collect these torn pages throughout the entire game that you keep bringing back to this book to get the next chapter of it. So the entire premise of this world is you basically are kind of playing a pseudo Christopher Robin. I mean, you are Sora, but his role is very Christopher Robin-esque. And you are trying to help Pooh Bear find all of his friends because they're all gone. They're on the lost pages. So every time you bring a new chapter, you reunite him with one of his other friends. And once you get to do all that, they're all happy and fun and everything's great again. And nothing else matters anymore. You can close that book and you're good to go. And you don't even have to look at it until Kingdom Hearts 2 when Pooh Bear starts going through dementia and Alzheimer's. But another more important thing happens while we are in Traverse Town. We actually run into our certified emo boy Riku. He's being a little shady and weird, and he shows us something important. He can wield the Keyblade. He just literally, what is it? Is it Captain America or Thor or both of them? You know how they just like hold up their, and you know, like that, except nobody's like throwing it to them, like just, you know. This doesn't really faze Sora. He's just kind of like, wow, you can do it too. You should join us. We're looking for Kairi. You know, he's happy to see his friend, but Riku is just jealous. He's just jealous that Sora had the audacity to be friends with a duck and an anthropology dog. So he's just kind of like, no, I see you've replaced us, and leaves. And he goes to his mommy issues Maleficent, and he just basically cries to her like, Sora got new friends. He replaced me. But of course, Sora doesn't know that he is now working with Maleficent, so Sora is just oblivious and, you know, trying to figure out his next move in finding Kairi now. While we are in this town, we are able to actually complete this town and seal up the keyhole in this area as well. So we can check that one off the list. Our next world that we're gonna travel to is Agrabah, which is the world of Aladdin. So in this world, we actually start off with a cutscene seeing Maleficent working with Jafar and her telling him to get Princess Jasmine. Now, while he's trying to kidnap Princess Jasmine, Sora and gang actually get to Jasmine first. But it doesn't matter because even though we're with her, Jafar literally just comes and takes her anyway. Like, we didn't do anything to protect her. She just gets kidnapped. But as she's getting kidnapped, she's like, wait, go find Aladdin. And so we then find the magic carpet that brings us to Aladdin. Now, Aladdin's like, not my girl, Jasmine. But what's also really weird is like the fact that they're like together, but like he's in his like streetwear. Like, I thought after they get together, like he starts like dressing up. Like, I just don't understand when this one takes place during like their whole kerfuffle. But we get Aladdin and we go back to Agrabah with Aladdin and we find Jafar and Jasmine. So Aladdin uses his little lamp and he's like, I wish Jasmine was free. But he's stupid and literally lets go of the lamp, and Iago, the little bird, he takes it to Jafar, and then Jafar is like, haha, reverse Uno, and causes Genie to drop Jasmine, and he just happens to drop her into a pot that's actually also a Heartless that just carries her away. Talk about bad luck. So Jafar runs away, whatever, and we're like, well, we gotta go get Jafar so we can get Jasmine. So we go to the Cave of Wonders. This is that like sand lion head. That's the Cave of Wonders. So when we're in the Cave of Wonders, we have to defeat Jafar not once, but twice. The second time being in his big baddie Genie form. But once he's defeated, there's still no Jasmine anywhere to be seen. So we seal the keyhole, but where's Jasmine? What gives? Well, Jasmine was actually taken by Riku. We can see that Riku takes Jasmine to Maleficent. So now he is officially working for her full time. But now we've sealed the keyhole, and just like it happened with Alice, out of sight, out of mind, Sora and gang, they don't care anymore. They're still looking for Kairi and King Mickey. Nothing else matters. So we start heading towards Atlantica, except on the way to Atlantica, we get swallowed by a whale. Now, this whale is the Pinocchio whale, because that's just, he's so big, he's a world of his own. So we're in this whale, and then this entire section is literally just us chasing Riku and Pinocchio through a whale's intestines. I'm not kidding, that's the entire section. And literally, it's Riku like luring Pinocchio, and then we're running after Pinocchio, and then Riku, he's like popping out from like the sphincter, and he's like, no way, I'm better than you. And it's just like really weird. But anyway, we finally catch up to them, and Sora's like, Riku, you suck. And Riku gets so upset that he's like, fine, and like just gives Pinocchio back and disappears into the darkness again. But once he is back to his little home base with Maleficent, Maleficent actually shows him that she has Kairi, except Kairi is now a lifeless husk. She's just a husk of a person. Like she's just... And she tells him it's because she is missing her heart, and that if he can find all of the other princesses' hearts, he can save Kairi. So to aid him in this, she gives him the power to control the Heartless. Now that we've gotten Pinocchio back and he's safe and sound with Geppetto, and we're, Riku's gone to wherever Riku goes to, Sora and gang, they can finally leave the whale and actually go to Atlantica. Now, I have referenced the second game a little bit in this, and if you know the second game, you know that Atlantica, that's our musical episode section. So in this case, I am doing the same thing, and this is my musical episode section, okay? Hit it, maestro. Sora shows up, panics a bit, but Donald does magic and now they can swim. They meet a girl with red hair, the girl who has everything. Flounder gets trapped, clams hold a key. Sharks start attacking, but why are they mean? We find a trident, but the king steals back everything. We'll fight Ursula and deals plenty. We get money and XP galore. But Ursula doesn't care. Oh, she's ready. So she stands and she grows 20 feet more. But Sora must seal the cursed keyhole. So he keeps on fighting and kills the sea witch, gaining the praise of that not as good as Mickey king. We'll give him the trident and seal the keyhole. Now must go find our friends Riku, Kairi, getting back in the Gummy so we can flee to up where we walked, up where we rolled, up where the Heartless have all control, wandering free. Someday he'll be in Super Smash Bros. Anyway, it's Bone Daddy time. So after Atlantica, we're gonna go to Halloween Town. And in Halloween Town, it's like we get to actually be like costumes. Like we get to actually be like, this is Halloween kind of thing, you know? So the whole premise of this world is that Jack is trying to make the scariest Halloween. And so he is actually experimenting on Heartless and wanting to control them just for Halloween, not for like nefarious purposes. So he is working with the doctor to actually control them, and they have a makeshift heart that is locked, but they're hoping that it can control the Heartless.
Hello. Editing Denari here. I am so sorry to interrupt your previously scheduled programming. I just noticed something though. I'm editing, and as you can see, my face. Oh, I'm beautiful. Yeah. Like my face here. It looks great. Looks great. Looks great. Looks great. Looks great. My camera just goes out of focus. I don't know when it happened. I don't know when it happened. I mean, I do. I know the exact point that it happened. As soon as I said it's Bone Daddy time, my camera decided it was gonna poot out. That's my Snow White face. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not re-recording it. It's just slightly out of focus. It's only the last little bit of it. Hopefully you understand. I didn't know that this happened. How could I know this? I don't want to put back on the duck suit. I don't want to put back on the duck suit. Don't make me do that. Okay, back to your previously scheduled program. Make sure you like and subscribe. Bye-bye.
Sora has a key that can unlock anything. So he unlocks this heart and they start Frankensteining it, trying to get the Heartless to obey them, basically. But this actually goes wrong, and the Heartless that were actually docile at first now turn evil. Oogie Boogie gets word of this. And he's like, I need this for myself. So he sends his little demon triplets to go steal the heart from us. They do successfully do this, which means that Sora, Jack, Donald, Goofy now need to track the little triplets and go back to Oogie's manor. Now, once they're in Oogie's manor, they actually play like a game of craps with him, and that's like his boss fight. It's like they're not actually playing craps, it's just like on a craps table. I don't think it is actually a craps table. It's just like a poker table. But like, it's not poker, but like, I don't know. I don't know casino games. Every time I've gone to the casino, I just play slots and lose money. I don't know. But anyway, they defeat him in that way, and Oogie Boogie does the only rational thing, and he takes a page out of Ursula's book and just gets really huge. Except he also turns into his house. So now, you know, thankfully we've watched Property Brothers, so we know how to do a good demo or two. So this is no match for us. We just demo Oogie Boogie house, and that shows us the keyhole. So we get to now seal that keyhole and be rid of Halloween Town. But as we are leaving, Jack tells us that, yeah, it was a terrible idea, and he just cancels Halloween. Which brings us to Neverland. Now, one interesting thing about Neverland is actually, we don't actually play in Neverland. Like, the world is called Neverland, but we never are actually in Neverland. Like, we're on Hook's ship and then England. So we're not in Neverland. So maybe it's called Neverland because we never land in Neverland. Anyway, whenever we start in this world, like I said, we do land on Hook's ship. And who's there? Who would have thought? You guessed it. Emo Boy Riku. Now, Emo Boy Riku, he is very, very upset at Sora still for how dare he be friends with the anthropologic dog and a duck. So he's like, I hate you. We're no longer friends anymore. And look, I have Kairi, this lifeless husk of Kairi, and no, I'm not gonna let you see her. You can see her from far away, but no, you can't come check on her, because we're not friends anymore, because you chose the dog and the duck. Yeah, he got issues. Anyway, he's basically controlling the Jolly Roger, which is Captain Hook's ship, and he's ordering Captain Hook around. So he has Sora and gang put into the jail of the boat. But who's in there, you might ask? Peter Pan. I don't really know how to draw Peter Pan, so you're just getting a dude flying. Peter Pan. But Peter Pan is there because he is looking for Wendy Darling. And yes, that is her last name, not like a, hey darling. It's like her name is Wendy Darling. So Peter Pan, he's looking for Wendy, and he does obviously have the help of Tink with him. So they decide, hey, we'll team up, you know, we can find Kairi and Wendy together. Now we're friends. Side point, I actually loved Peter Pan when I was younger. Loved Peter Pan when I was younger. And not like the ginger Peter Pan, I specifically loved the live action Peter Pan. I'll put the, you know what I'm talking about. Because even at that age, you know, look, our last episode I mentioned Crollo, okay? I love myself a goth twink, but if there's something I love more than goth twinks, even when I was 6 years old, blondes. Like I said, Link, Peter Pan, I had a theme, and the theme is carried out throughout my entire life. Now that we're in the jail and looking around for Kairi and Wendy, Riku is ordering Hook around and is like, Wendy's dead, wait, she's not one of the princesses, so I don't need her, so she's dead to me, you can just toss her. And Hook's like, what the heck? Like, I've literally spent years looking for this girl. Well, maybe not years, because they like are still children. Days? Weeks? He spent time trying to capture her, okay? So he's not cool. Oh, fun fact. Actually, I forgot to mention this. I was Captain Hook in a musical. Not once, but twice. I don't know why I was Captain Hook though. Like literally, like I am 5 foot. Like I'm actually 5 foot. So when I've been in musicals, like, and I was Captain Hook, Peter Pan, who they actually had like a boy playing, which is weird because usually in the Broadway production, they have a girl playing Peter Pan and then a guy playing Captain Hook. But I guess we just gender swapped it in the 2 productions I was in. And like Peter Pan was like up here. So like, I'm not that intimidating going like, I'm gonna get you, like, or whatever. I mean, I guess that works because he isn't very intimidating. He's like, Smee, the crocodile Smee! But as they're arguing, Sora and Peter do end up finding Wendy and Kairi. And Kairi is still her lifeless husk. But now being in close proximity to Sora, she starts twitching a little bit. The power of love, baby. So they're trying to find a way to get Kairi and Wendy out of their holding cell. But before that can happen, Riku basically finds out their plan, takes Kairi, and just shadow steps out of existence. Now, when he shadow steps out of existence, it's like, what was it called in that book, A Court of Thorns and Roses? You've read it. You know what I'm talking about. I think it's like winnowing. I think it's winnowing is what it's called. Where they end up basically just like stepping through, like just teleporting. That's the easiest way I can explain it. They just teleport. But before Riku actually leaves, he sends a shadow Sora after us. So now we're fighting our shadow and Hook and Smee and all of the pirates and Heartless and whatever. And obviously, because we've got Donald on our team, nothing's a match for us. We win. Duh. So Tink then tells us that we need to go to England to see the Big Ben, which, again, I want to point out, now we're going to England. Still not Neverland. But the Big Ben clock tower actually just happens to be the keyhole. So we use our Keyblade and seal up the Neverland keyhole, another world down. But as we could have guessed, Riku ended up taking Kairi to Mommy Maleficent, but she actually kind of patronizes him a little bit. And she's like, hey, you are relying way too much on your dark powers. If you keep doing that, you're gonna lose your heart. And he's like, I don't care. And she's like, okay, well, here's some more dark powers, I guess. I don't get her game. I don't get her game. Like, she's like half nice to him when it benefits her and like half not nice to him when it benefits. Mommy issues. But during Sora's adventuring, he ended up finding a Gummy piece. And like I said, Gummy, the ship Gummy, a piece to upgrade it. By upgrading his Gummy ship, he's actually now able to see a new area in his map. And that new area is Hollow Bastion. So now we finally get to go to like the most iconic place in the Kingdom Hearts series. And once we pull up to Hollow Bastion, we actually get to see Riku arguing with Adam. Yes, I'm calling him Adam. His name is not Beast. His name is Adam. Like, I don't understand why we call him Beast. Like, his name is Adam. I'm gonna call him Beast. But his name is Adam. Anyway, Beast is at Hollow Bastion trying to find Belle, his waifu. And Riku isn't having any of that, so he literally just stabs him and is like, haha, got you. So Sora and gang, being the good guys they are, they pull up trying to help, and Riku just literally starts this whole like, hold on. We were always rivals, weren't we? Like crap. And it's really like cringy, and it's like, I don't know. He's like starting on this whole thing about how like only he can save Kairi, like he's stronger than Sora, and he steals Sora's Keyblade, and he's like, I'm gonna go save her. You don't need to do anything. Leave it to me. She's mine to save now, because I'm more powerful. My heart's the strongest between the two. And it's like, dude, she's just not that into you. Like, she's just not that into you. Like, you don't need to be doing all this. Like, focus on yourself, King. You don't need to be doing all this. But now that Riku does have the Keyblade, this causes Goofy to be fake. And he's like, well, I guess I gotta follow the key, because that's what King Mickey told me to do, so I'm just gonna ditch my friend that's been helping me along the way. And Donald, obviously being just in his decisioning, follows the king's orders and follows the key, you know, unfortunately having to leave his dear friend Sora behind, but he is trying to save the universe here, so we have to cut him some slack. But Goofy is fake. Donald is just. But this allows Sora to actually team up with Beast. So we go through the Hollow Bastion using Beast to actually kill the Heartless, because we don't have a Keyblade to actually kill them. We've just got like a wooden stick, so it doesn't really do too much. I just used Beast to kill all the Heartless. And we find that Maleficent has actually stolen 7 princesses. But like, it's confusing who she stole, because, okay, so the princesses she stole: Jasmine, Alice, Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Belle, Kairi. Okay, we can understand the Kairi thing because like it is Kingdom Hearts game, like it's fine, she's like a hidden princess, whatever. What is Alice doing here? We have another princess. Like, it's not like they didn't have another princess. They just... I don't get it. I guess she just picked favorites? Like, I don't understand. But Maleficent uses their hearts to unlock the Kingdom Hearts door. But it's not working. And why is it not working? Well, because Kairi's heart is still not cooperating. This is all besides the point. Obviously, Sora and Beast are trying to find where everybody is, and along the way, they find Belle. And maybe it was a hallucination, because she also was like locked up. I think it was like a hallucination or like a projection, because she was locked up. Anyway, they see Belle, and Belle turns into a Heartless, and this causes Beast to just crash out. Like, just totally like crash out. And I don't blame him. It just does. But while this is happening now, certified emo boy Riku actually pulls up again, and this time with a vengeance. This time he's just trying to kill Sora. So he goes and he launches a powerful blast at Sora, except Goofy, realizing the error of his ways and how nasty he was, he gets right up there and he uses his little tiny donut shield and blocks that thing. He blocks that thing and he saves Sora. Now, Donald, obviously wanting to protect his friend Goofy, you know, wanting to keep the king's servants alive, because he does, I mean, always. He always chooses the right thing to do. So now he's deciding, okay, I'll go back with them, because that's what the king would want. The king would understand this. So the friends reunite, and this causes Sora's heart to be more powerful and steal back the Keyblade. Now, Sora and Riku start fighting again, and obviously Sora wins with the power of friendship. Duh. Which causes Riku to be very, very upset. So he goes off and is sulking, and then a cloaked unknown dude, basically approaches him and is like, you suck, but what if you didn't suck? I can show you how to not suck. You just gotta listen to me. I'll show you how to not suck. You've just gotta open yourself to darkness. I know what everybody's told you, don't do it, but I'm telling you, if you wanna not suck, because right now you do kind of suck, just open your heart to darkness. Which he does. And then he gets a dark Keyblade of his own. So he goes back to Maleficent and trying to see how the process is going, realizing that Kairi's heart is still not cooperating. Well, they're also unhappy that Sora and the others are lurking in this Hollow Bastion, so Maleficent is like, okay, fine, I'll go deal with them. So she heads off to go fight them. Except she's no match for us. We got the power of friendship, baby! So she's doing horribly, and Riku comes up to save his little mommy Maleficent, and he does save her by stabbing her and unlocking the darkness within her, which turns her into the dragon. Now, of course, we still fight the dragon. We got the power of friendship, baby. A dragon's no match for us. Are you serious? You gotta throw something harder at us, okay? Like a chihuahua. A dragon's not gonna do it. But after showing him the true power of friendship, Sora ends up finally getting to Kairi. And at the same point, Riku now comes up and he's like, that girl's lost her heart. And Sora's like, wait, you're not Riku. When did you not become Riku? You're not Riku. So this Riku reveals himself to now be Ansem. So this Riku now reveals himself to be Ansem. So they have a little bit of a kertuffle, but it's okay. There's no match for the power of friendship. But Sora realizes something. He needs to unlock Kairi's heart. And Ansem tells him that Kairi's heart is within him. So he does the only rational thing. Sora grabs his Keyblade and he just stabs it in himself and unlocks it, basically essentially killing himself and freeing Kairi. So after Sora goes bye-bye, Kairi wakes up and now Ansem's presenting himself in his real body. So he doesn't look like Riku anymore. He looks like himself now. And he's basically explaining his whole mwahaha evil plan. But as he's explaining it, Riku comes out of the body and he's like, wait guys, no, I'm good now. Listen to me. You gotta run. I'm good again. Go, 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 go. I promise. Like, pick a side, dude. Pick a side. Come on. But you might be wondering, but where's Sora? Sora's just gone? Sora's dead? No, you silly goose. No, Sora just turned into a Heartless because he lost his heart. And like I explained earlier, Heartless are Keyblade wielders that, you know, succumb to darkness, lose their heart, whatever, yada yada, bing bong boom. But he's a Heartless now. And as the little Heartless Sora, he goes and he finds his friends and they recognize him. And Kairi gives him a big ol' hug and the power of love brings him back. So I guess they like share a heart or something, kind of like that. Like Snow White and Prince Charming in Once Upon a Time, the show Once Upon a Time, ABC's hit show Once Upon a Time. They share a heart in that show. So it's kind of like that, I guess. It fits the fairy tale vibes. But everybody now is, they're back together, they're happy, so they just leave Riku in Ansem's body and then leave Beast to hopefully get his wife back and fight off against the Heartless, because they didn't free all the princesses, just Kairi. They left the other ones. We don't care about the others. So they all go back to Traverse Town. But what happened to Riku? Well, now we see that Riku is actually in a void world of darkness. So while he is in this world, he starts hearing an ominous voice. And this ominous voice is like, "Oh, I was trying to get to you, but your heart is too dark for me to get past. You have to open it up to the light. I'm gonna save you. I have the other key. The keyhole has to be locked from both sides. And I got the key of darkness." I wonder who that is. I don't know. So now that Sora and gang are back in Traverse Town, this is literally just like the point before the end of the game. Like, there's no real reason to it other than giving you a last point to go finish your side quests before we go to the end of the game. And once we go to the end of the game, it's a new world we get. So we get another Gummy navigation piece, and we go to this new world called the End of the World. Because it's the end of the game. You get it? You get it? You get it? Ha! Now, the end of the world is literally just boss fight after 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 boss fight. Why did I start getting an accent there? Like, I sound like Cake Boss. Hey, you want me to make a cake for you? Yeah, I got you, boss. But there were only really two, like, important boss fights in this area, and it's like this huge demon that we fight, and then like this Kylo Ren looking dude. And that's gonna become relevant in the next game, so I'm not even touching on it now. Like, when I played it, I didn't even see this guy. I didn't know you could do that. I found out that was a secret boss when I watched my husband play through it. I miss things, okay? I miss things. I'm not as detail-oriented as you might think. I might have OCD, and people think that OCD means that you're very detail-oriented and you're very cleanly, but let me tell you, that is not what it means. That is not what it means. It means that I need to go pee 20 times or try to pee 20 times exactly before I go to bed, because if I don't do it before I go to bed, then I've convinced myself that I'm going to pee myself in my sleep, and then that means that I will die. Anyway, I love Prozac. But after we get through all of these boss fights, we find the door to darkness. The door to darkness. And we go through it. For you guessed it, more boss fights. Now, in this area, we first find we're back at Sora's home island. And we see a little dark side Riku sitting at the shore, staring out into it longingly. Just wishing he was as good as us. And we walk up to him. And we're like, "Hey dude, what's up?" And it's not him, it's Ansem, now with his stand. Like, it's literally, he just has a stand. Like, he just suddenly now has a stand. I don't know. I don't know what in the JoJo's is going on here. We fight him in his stand, and that's all good, that's fine. We fight him, but as we're fighting, this causes the world to start breaking in two. And from that break spawns Big Papa Heartless. So now we actually get to go finally defeat the Big Papa Heartless that we had in the beginning of the game. And now we're actually able to. So once we do that, now Ansem and his stand come back again on crack. So we have to fight them again. And we fight them again. And then you think, okay, finally, I'm done with this game. Finally, it's been 50 hours. I'm done. No. Because as soon as you defeat him in this form, then he turns into a gigantic alien ship that also is a transformer that has an alien popping out of him, like the "hello my baby, hello my darling" alien. And I don't know what in the Japan happened here, but something happened. But again, yada yada. It's to defeat that one, it's again more mini boss fights to defeat the actual boss. You go into like different little sections of him, like throughout his organs, I guess, because he is the ship now. You defeat the organs, and then he finally gets defeated. And then you're finally done with the boss fight. You're finally done with all the boss fights. You're at the end of the game. Congratulate yourself. So this causes Ansem to now go back into his normal, just human, no stand form, and he tries to open up the door to darkness, the Kingdom Hearts door. I said it. I said the name of the game. Ha. But Sora's like, Stinky, that's not the door to darkness. That's the door to light. and it opens up the door and he gets evaporated by light like a vampire. Except weirdly enough, whenever they actually go to look into the door, like it is darkness in there. Like there's more of the big Papa Heartless and more Heartless. Like it's not like heaven inside of it. So I don't know what came out and killed him. I couldn't tell you. Like it's above me. But now that he's evaporated and gone, now Sora and Donald and Goofy try to actually close the Kingdom Hearts door. Except, like our mysterious friend said to Riku, you need to close it from both directions. And who just so happens to be inside of that door? Riku and his mysterious new friend. Now say it with me. Who's that Pokemon? Mickey Mouse! So Riku and King Mickey are trapped on the dark side of the door, and Sora and Donald and Goofy are on the light side of the door. So together, they work together and close that door for good, sealing Kingdom Hearts and restoring the worlds. Except it doesn't like fully restore it because like more crap happens. Like it doesn't just go back to normal, like it's like repairing itself. But anyway, after they do that, Sora looks over and he sees his little waifu Kairi waiting for him. And he runs over to get her. Finally, they can be together. Except the floor starts cracking between them. But she's like, I believe you, Sora. You'll always come find me. And he's like, Kairi, I promise, I'll come find you. And they it's like a, which means only one thing. It is time for the literal best video game outro song ever. Roll the clip. Roll the clip.
When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go simple and clean. There's no way that you're making me feel tonight. It's hard to let you go.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. My next video is going to be We Happy Few. But after that, I'm not too sure what I'm going to be doing next. I'm not sure if it's going to be Epic Mickey or Zelda or something along those lines. But if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. Additionally, with the next video being We Happy Few, make sure you subscribe to the Tier 2 membership. That way you can get early access to the theory board and to get to see the costume. It also gives you a chance to be part of the theory board because this one, it's gonna have a lot of pictures and there is a chance that your profile picture just might work for it. But with that said, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.